Hello and welcome to another fly tying session with your host Scott. In this session we're going to be tying a fly known as the dark mackerel. This is a fly pattern that's found in this book, Trout and Salmon 220 favourite flies. I don't think there's any particular author, to be honest with you. I think it's an amalgamation of authors. And the dark mackerel is on page 98, and it's right next door to the Peter Ross that we've showcased on the channel before. And yeah, it's one of those patterns I quite like the look of. I think it might actually be in the Sea Trout section. Yeah, it looks like it. Yes, it's in the Sea Trout section. I'm sure it would be very good for brown trout. I've only ever tied one before and I've never fished with one, so hopefully that'll change this weekend. But that's the one we've tied before, and I was hoping to demonstrate how I did it. So we're going to need quite a few bits and pieces for this one. There's quite a few ingredients in this one, materials. The first thing I'll go with is we need a black thread. This one's in 8/0 by Uni. For the body, we're going to need, I've got a pearl tinsel by Lure Flash. It's the medium sized one. The original pattern uses something called red lurex. Not quite sure what that is. I haven't been able to find any, but I've managed to come up with a way to get round it. And the way we get round it is a red Sharpie pen or similar. There was a company in the UK. So I know I have found out that the vast majority of my watchers are in the USA. There was a company called Wilco that went bust. But they're pretty much the same thing as a Sharpie pen. I mean, even the shape of the pen's the same. The colour of the ink's the same. So I know you guys in the USA can still get Sharpies, so can we. But these were a bit cheaper than a Sharpie pen. For the rib, we're going to need a copper wire. This is also going to secure the palmed hackle. The palmed hackle will be made from, this is a badger cock cape that's been dyed claret by myself. We're going to need some golden pheasant tippets for the tail. And we're also going to need some bronze mallard for the wing. And in the vise, I've got a B405 in size 10. You could use a Camazan B170 or 175 or any suitable wet fly hook. Okay, I think that's covered all the ingredients. Obviously watch the video all the way through and you might find one I've missed. I'm really good at that. So we're going to start by putting a layer of thread on the hook. We're going to start at the eye. And yes, I do understand that it's another wet fly pattern, but I'm doing a lot of wet fly fishing at the moment, and I'm in the process of tying a box of wet flies. So you'll have to bear with me. I am trying to intersperse it with the odd nymph pattern or dry fly pattern, but hopefully it won't be so samey for very long. It's just that where we've been forced to go and fish basically because our fishery is closed, wet flies are the things that are working. Anyway, so we're going to get our pheasant, golden pheasant tippet. We'll put it between finger and thumb like so. We're going to cut the required amount with the scissors and then pull the slip away from the feather. Grab it with your other hand and hopefully they'll stay lined up. You want to line them up so that the black bar, the first black bar is about where you're tying it in. That's where I like to tie them in anyway. And you end up with a nice length then. of tail. Then we're going to trim the length of the body. Then we're going to get our fine copper wire. This one is by Vineyard and it's very, very thin. I've got fishing line that's thicker, let's put it that way. You could actually use mono if you wanted to, but I think the copper really sets it off quite nicely, so we're following the original pattern. The only thing that's different from the original pattern in this one is the fact that the tinsel I'm using for the main body. So once you've prepared your copper wire, we're going to tie it in again, the length of the body, like so, and then we're going to tidy up. Now you want a nice even body for if you're doing a tinsel body. It's a bit lumpy there, but I think we'll get away with it. So then we're going to get our, it's practically see through this tinsel. You can actually get a clear one and you can colour it whatever you like then. So we're going to tie it in. Like so, and then we're going to get our Sharpie pen. And basically add colour to it. Now the great thing about using a pearl tinsel is it maintains its shininess even after it's been covered in permanent ink. So it's worth actually getting some of this tinsel and then buying yourself a set of Sharpie pens. I've experimented with a few different colours. I'm just going to leave that to dry a minute. This is a fly that I've one of my favourite horror films is Alien, and the name of the alien was called the Xenomorph. I might show this pattern, but I want to see if I can catch a fish on it first. And I've got a fluorescent green pen, and that's what I've done the body with. But this is a fly that I've called the Xenomorph. So it's got the classic tail of the Xenomorph, it's got the great big head, and it's got the spines across the back. It's a bit of a Matuka style wing on it. I am going to see if I can improve on it slightly. This is a first go. And once I've mastered it, I will show it on the channel, especially if it catches a few fish. But yeah, there we go. That's the Xenomorph. Anyway, that's gave it a chance for the ink to dry. So then we're going to wind the rib with touching turns. So we'll put a bit more ink on this side. Now you've seen me do full tinsel bodies before. So it's touching turns all the way down to the base of the tail, and then touching turns back up. And do a full one at the base of the tail. And then head back up. And if you've got a red tinsel, then fine, use that. I haven't got one in this size. So, needs must. It's a little bit of a hack for you, I suppose. I don't think it looks too bad. Do a nice bloodworm pattern doing that as well. Okay, so that's tidy. Take away the excess. Then we're going to select a feather from the cape. That doesn't look too bad. Get rid of the fluffy stuff. And tie that in. Trim away. So you probably want a couple of full turns at the head. And then palm. And then you just rib the opposite way to the hackle. And then save your scissors, pull the thread tight once you've tied your wire in, and just keep wiggling and it should break eventually. There we go. And cut the tip of your hackle feather. Brush it all back. Tidy up a bit, ready for your wing. And you want to select some nicely marked bronze mallard. Now I bought this stuff, it's not been dyed or harvested myself. This one's by Turrell. You just want to tear a sizable bunch away. So you've got a fairly even bunch. Pull any of the short ones out and then roll between finger and thumb. and then tie in so that the tip of the wing is about the same length as the whole fly. Using a loose turn, get it in position. A few more turns to lock it. I might just add another bunch in there. Trim away and then start to form your head. Go into the eye, and then once you're able to, you should be able to go back up over the cut ends. And then whip finish. And then once you're happy with how it looks, you can varnish the head. And there we are. That is the dark mackerel wet fly. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.